Look, that's what I'm human. I'm going to listen. First of all, we just talked about mental health last episode. Man, if you need to get it out, get it out. Don't hold that shit in. You know what I'm saying? Go on and get it out, man. Let it out. You know, you never know who may, need what you saying. You know what I mean? Complaining helps sometimes. Don't do too much complaining because it starts to get a little feminine.
Yeah, and no one wants to hear it for real.
And there you go. Don't nobody really give a damn at the end of the day. Like, clearly that's how you start treating me. Look, man, let's get into this, man. Another amazing episode. Your boy ain't did two episodes in one day in a long time. I'm the GOAT, man. That's what I do, man. I just need the right person to get me there. And I'm starting to get top guests. You know what I'm saying? Look, this gentleman I got in the building today, you know what I'm saying? We established, Now listen, Marky Marcus, you ready, baby? Esai, you ready? Todd, you ready?
Nah, give me like 20 minutes.
All right, man, let's do this. Welcome back to the I-70 podcast. It is your boy, Jonathan Little, a.k.a. John. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell, man. Tap into what I got going on, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the I-70 podcast where we bringing the world together one episode at a time. Now, listen, it's crazy how God works sometimes, y'all. Just, about 30 minutes ago, I'm in here talking about my fear of doing stand-up comedy and going to open mic. And long behold, I get an established comedian to come sit down with the boy. You know what I'm saying? Because I may get some tips. Oh, no, don't get to looking around. I'm talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, finally, I get to talk to somebody who did international work, been all around the country, you know what I'm saying? Touring right now. That's how I got the opportunity to, sit down with this gentleman. Todd Rexx is in the building, man. How you doing, brother? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Esai, for inviting me.
Don't give him too much pub, because he's using me for, his connection. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Now, listen. Let's get into your background story. That's what I always like to do with my guests, because for a fan that may have never heard of you or just, seeing you again for the first time.
Of the people listening to this podcast.
Cool. That's what I'm talking about. Right. See, so let's get them all hip. Where were you born and raised?
Well,
that's right. Go look, therapy couch. First therapy session of I-70 podcast. Make sure you get the whole view.
So my origin story is a very interesting one.
Okay, talk about it now.
Half black and half white, right?
Uh-huh.
Born to a white mother and a black father that were married, but not to each other.
Okay. Okay.
He was married. Uh-huh. She was single, and he was much older than her. And I was born in 1969, mm-hmm. right? And so a white mother raised a single white mother raising a biracial baby in the 60s. She was told that was not going to be a great look.
Mm-hmm.
So she put me up for adoption before she was even born. So this family of a white mother, a white father, and a white son named the Rexx family.
Mm-hmm.
And their son is adopted too.
Yep.
They adopted me before I was even born. But I wasn't able to leave the hospital until I was 3 days old. So when I left the hospital with my parents,
mm-hmm.
Marguerite Rexx, Paul Rexx, and my brother Greg Rexx. And my name's Todd Rexx. So we went to Ohio. From New Jersey was where I was born. Went to Ohio. Lived in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Dad's an architect. Mom worked for the Plain Dealer, which is a newspaper there.
Yes,
She's a
sir.
reporter. And so then, so then she got a job with the U.S. Senate. We moved to Washington, D.C., or Silver Spring, Maryland, to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the corner from Dave Chappelle.
Hey, now.
Yep. And so I showed Esai a picture of Dave Chappelle and I in 1991 at my house that I grew up in after I cut his hair.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So you was Dave Chappelle barber back in the day?
No,
you just cut his hair?
I just that one time I cut his hair. I mean, we hung out numerous times before and go to, we'd ride to the comedy clubs together.
Mm-hmm.
But he had just done a movie and he landed. We were doing shows in Greenbelt, Maryland at Comedy Connection.
Yeah.
And he needed to get a haircut, but when he came in, it was a Sunday. He was coming in for a Sunday show. And he was like, where can I get my haircut? And I was like, there ain't no barbers open on Sunday.
Especially not no black barber shop.
Right. I was like, well, I got clippers at the crib. Then my brother, the white dude.
Yeah.
used to butcher my head, man. So I had the clippers at the house. So he was like, well, can you take my hair off? And I was like, yep. So went and shaved his hair off. And then Moms took the picture out in front wearing a cross colors shirt.
Uh-huh.
Not too long ago, Dave had the premiere party of. He had 2 Netflix specials that he had already filmed,
mm-hmm.
and released them at the same time. And went to the premiere of the party, a place called the Peppermint in Los Angeles. And I walked in, and he was standing there holding court in front of all these people. And he had a champagne bottle in his hand, and I stood next to him. And he didn't see me for a minute. And he turned, he's like, "Oh shit!" Gave me a big ass hug, and I was like, "Yo, look at this picture that my brother sent me."
Yeah,
and I showed him the picture of us like as kids, basically.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Nigga, burn that picture."
He wanted to get out.
And I said, "Absolutely not. I'm posting this motherfucker. I'll put it up on social media."
So let me ask you this before we get off Dave, since you brought up the legend, the GOAT. Did you think he would become who he is?
125%.
Got you.
Yep.
And what did you see in Dave Chappelle that would even
he was mature beyond his years.
Okay.
His stage confidence, stage presence, his ability to tackle social issues, even back then when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd go to the comedy clubs at 17 years old and would go in there and do stuff that no one was doing, and everybody was like, "God damn, this dude ain't even supposed to really be in here."
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I always knew. And by the time I cut his hair that time, like he already did a movie before. So I was like, so he was already on his way, and he did well. You know? So I knew that was just a matter of time before he blew up. And watching him blow up, it was like not once was I was like, "Damn,
yeah,
that happened." I was like, "Yep."
Mm-hmm. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, I know John always like to dig into the background story. Okay, growing up, when did you realize
that I was black in my family?
Yes, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. See, I was gonna go. You know what? Let me switch my interview my interview style, because I got me one of them ones today. When did you realize that growing up? What was the moment?
Pretty early.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, my parents made sure that I was always aware of the fact that I was adopted, you know, and that made me special because I was like a hot commodity. And you know, my parents were very involved in the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. They bought a school bus and went to Selma, Alabama, and they have pictures. I still have the pictures. I should start putting them up.
Yeah, of
them on the front steps of a house. The house is pretty run down and beat up, and there's maybe 10 kids and like 5 or 6 grown-ups on the porch, and my mom and dad standing there, the only white people on the porch. And they would get that school bus and they would take these kids camping and show them stuff that they would never see otherwise.
Yeah.
And March on Washington, they were there for the March on Washington and stuff like that, and told me that they would hear disparaging racial remarks about me when they would push me in the stroller, you know, in the 70s. But my mom and dad were just like, you know, so I've grown up with a very open heart, and accepting of everybody, and, you know, race, color, religion, creed, sexual preference, I don't give a shit.
I hear that.
As long as you're a good person, that's all I care about.
Now, were you like that always growing up?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was funny because in Silver Spring, Maryland, I went to Blair High School, and it was a melting pot. Like everybody was together, and there was no racial discourse. You know, there was no like, the whites are fighting the blacks.
Yeah.
It was always this group of guys was fighting that group of guys, and there'd be Asians, blacks, Hispanics, whites in that group. Mm-hmm. And it was never a race thing. It was always just like, those guys are assholes and we're not, so we're gonna fight them. Or they're from a different high school. But it was never a race thing, which was cool. So I was like, and my son, when he was about 3 or 4, he was in daycare, and he was telling me about one of his friends, and he was like, I met a guy today at school, and he's my friend, and he described the kid, but when I met the kid, he was Asian. He never said that. He was just he's got black hair and it's kind of straight, but he never said anything about him being. So when I met him, I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like, don't even see the race or whatever. Just like, he's cool. He's got black hair and brown eyes, and he's funny. Like, you know, whatever.
And did you ever have that moment? Because a lot of my mixed friends, when I asked them, did you ever have that moment in life where you felt like you weren't white enough and wasn't black enough?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too long ago, I was in North Hollywood, and I was at a 7-Eleven talking to a female friend of mine, and this dude like heard me talking. He turned around and he was like, "Damn." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "I was expecting to see a white dude."
Yeah.
"You sound like a white guy."
Yeah.
I was like,
ain't that some shit?
I was like, okay. I don't know how to take that. Yeah.
But I'm sure that wasn't your first time hearing that, though.
Nah, I hear.
Because you know how we are in the black community, we love to throw that around.
Oh, hell
Motherfucker
yeah.
talk with proper English, he sound white.
Right, exactly. I talked about it last night on stage. Because we were in Charlotte, North Carolina at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Craig, myself, and this guy named Frankie Quinones. Shout out to Frankie.
Shout out Frankie.
Yeah, very funny comedian. He's a Creeper. If you ever seen the Creeper videos, the Cholo Fit. And he has a special that's out on Hulu right now called Damn That's Crazy. And he's on a show called This Fool on Hulu. Anyway, so we were down there, and a redneck asked me what I was.
Yeah.
And like, I could understand looking racially ambiguous, like you have no idea what I am, but this dude was like, dude, what are you, dude?
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
That's redneck impression I've seen.
He's like, I mean, you're kind of dark skinned, but you talk regular. And I was like, what you're hearing is it's education. Like, that's what's fucking you up.
Yeah.
Schooling. That's what.
Yeah.
I've heard it my whole life. Yeah.
Now, so what got you into comedy? Like, matter of fact, take me through the time where it could have been. Matter of fact, I asked it this way: what comedian did you watch, or what show that put it in your brain? Hey, I could do this.
The show. So my dad was huge into stand-up comedy. And he would record on A&E, on the A&E network. It was a show back in the day. You were probably too young to remember.
I was born in 94. I know what the hell that is. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's pump the brakes here. Those are the damn 2000s babies back there. You know what I mean? 2000s baby. You heard what I said. 2000s babies. Okay. You know the motherfuckers don't count.
All right. Well, so back in the early 90s, right around the time you were born.
See?
There's a show called, it was actually before you were born. There's a show called A&E's Evening at the Improv. And my dad would record all of them, and he would show me all the comedians that he loved. And George Wallace was one of his favorite comedians, right? And so, and my dad would always show me stand-up comedy, and he loved Mel Brooks movies. And we'd watch the Mel Brooks movies together, so it was always about comedy in our household and being funny. And then when I was 17, I turned 17, my dad took me to a comedy club in Washington, D.C., and it was my first time ever going to a comedy club, 17 years old. And I'm sitting there in the crowd, and I'm looking around. I'm like, damn, this is what it's like in here?
Yeah.
I only seen it on TV. And then a comedian came out, and I wish I could remember his name because I've probably run into him since I started doing it. I started in like 90 or 91. I don't even, like a lot of people know the dates they started. I don't remember.
You know it was 30 years ago.
I know it was like in the 90 or 91.
Right.
So it's like 34, 35 years ago.
Right.
And I probably run into the guy since then, but I was amazed at the fact that this dude could hold the attention of the entire crowd and bring everybody together with just what he's saying. And I was like, God damn, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And fast forward a few years, I was living at the beach with some friends of mine for the second year in a row. We rented a beach house in Ocean City, Maryland. And one of the guys I went to high school with, a guy named Anthony Gorman, shout out to Anthony Gorman. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing stand-up. We lived together along with like 5 other guys in the beach house, and he ended up getting spinal meningitis and had to leave. And this is before cell phones, so I didn't talk to him for the rest of the summer. So when the summer was over, I go back home, and I reach out to him, and I'm like, yeah, what you been doing the rest of the summer? And he was like, I started doing stand-up comedy out of boredom. And I was like, really? Like where? And he said, Comedy Cafe, 16th and K Street, downtown, open mic night, Thursday nights. He's like, my sister Teresa's driving me on Thursday. You want to go? And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So he picked me up with his sister. We went down there. He got on stage and fucking bombed.
Oh!
Like, ate it, right? Came and sat next to me, and just to clown him, like he sat next to me, and then I started acting like I didn't know him. Like I put my hand up like this. And he was like, man, put your goddamn hand down. And I was like, I'm sorry, do I know you?
Yeah.
And he was like, you can't do no better than that. And I was like, that? I can do better than that. And he goes, go put your name on the list. And I was like, all right. And I was like, who do I talk to? And he was like, that dude that's hosting. And his name is Greg Poole. And since we've become friends like for decades now. So I go over and tell this guy, Greg Poole, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I'm going to go on stage tonight. And he was like, you ever been on stage before? And I said, nope. And he was like, your first time? And I said, yep. And he was like, you're going to be last. And I said, okay. And he said, that means you're going up around 12:30. There's only going to be like 5 or 6 people here by that point. And I was like, perfect.
Right.
So he brought me on stage, and all I did was an impersonation of Archie Bunker getting his dick sucked by Edith. And the crowd was dying laughing, and I just got out of there.
Yeah. What was it, 5 minutes, 3 minutes?
It was like 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. And I just went up there, and I was like, hey, what's up, y'all? I've never done this before. I do impersonations. Here's my impersonation of Archie Bunker getting his dick sucked by, which I had done for my friends a million times.
Right.
And so I did that, and everybody's dying laughing. And Greg was like, hey, man, that was pretty funny, man. You come back next week.
Yeah.
So I went back, and I got home, first of all, like late as shit, like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I went up to my parents' room, and I woke my dad up. I was like, Dad.
I did it.
I did stand-up comedy tonight. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. And he said, where? I said, at the comedy oh, fuck. What? I just said the name of it.
What did he just say? Don't even worry about it. You did comedy.
Comedy
You told
Cafe.
Pops you did comedy. There we go.
Comedy Cafe, 16th and K Street.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, sweet. Tell me about it in the morning. So the morning came and I told him. And so then that whole week I was just writing stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I made my biggest mistake. And it's stuck with me ever since this first time. I wrote down basically a 1-page script of stuff that I thought was funny.
Okay.
And then memorized it over that next week.
Okay.
So the next week I went back and got on stage and just basically just in my head, just like read the script. No emotion, no feeling.
Nice.
And motherfuckers like this.
No.
Like, nope.
So was that, did you bomb?
Yeah, I ate a dick, right? But then
So that's one of the things that intrigues me the most and scares me the most about comedy. What is it like to bomb?
oh, it fucking sucks. But the cool thing is now, like, I rarely bomb now, and if I do bomb, it's almost comedic to me.
Okay, gotcha.
And I will turn it around on the crowd. I'll be like, man, fuck y'all. This stuff is stuff is tried and true.
That's what I envision myself doing.
Right.
Fuck y'all if y'all ain't gonna laugh, right? You know?
This shit has been funny. Don't act like it ain't me, it's y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so that's when I realized that just reading it all stiff with no emotion and not being present really wasn't going to work. Mm-hmm. And so from that point on, I didn't write full jokes down. I would just write the premise down.
Okay, premise.
And I just write down what the joke is about. Like fucking taking a shit in a public restaurant. Whatever.
You a wild motherfucker if you taking shits in public restaurants.
Right,
I call you motherfuckers community cheeks. That's what I call y'all. I've called Mark this. I've called Esai this. You motherfuckers who just take shits in public places just because you got to go, you got community cheeks. You're nasty. Goddamn it. Yeah, you nasty as shit.
Right. You only play home games?
I only play home games, brother. You goddamn it. Hey, Todd, look,
I might even cut the night short. Like, hey guys,
you damn right.
I'm not feeling it right now.
I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna go home. I've left work
and then show back up an hour later. Be like, hey man, I felt better now.
Because you got motherfuckers who go take a shit at the club. I mean, we out partying. Stomach rumbling. You the one that took you a shit at the club.
That's why you go to coat check and pull your extra pair of shoes out.
Let me tell you something.
Take your shit shoes.
I'm telling you, y'all. I don't take shits at public places. When I worked for Amazon driving, I would pull over to like a nursing home or a hotel because you know they keep their shit clean.
Oh my god!
And take
a
me
nursing
shit.
home?
You damn right. I know grandma and grandpa them ain't using that shit.
Right, they're using diapers.
Thank you.
They're not using
so I'm
toilet.
going straight in. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all the motherfuckers out there with community cheeks, especially the motherfuckers at my job. Mark, they be standing in line to take shits at my job.
Jesus
motherfuckers
Christ.
standing in the bathroom waiting on the stall to be available. You're nasty, brother. That man in there farting and shitting it. Nah, I'm going home. I'm a home team.
And then you sit on the toilet and you saw the dude who made the seat warm. Like,
How awkward is that?
I don't want to see. I don't want to see the dude who warmed the seat up for me.
And yeah, imagine what he's thinking as he walking past you. Boy, I just told that shit up. You finna go in there?
You going in there?
Go ahead. Last night was wild. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Mark told you about them community cheeks, brother. Yeah, that way. So now, Ty, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Give advice to active, comedians who are active already and, individuals like myself who want to get into it but just are a little intimidated by it. What does it take to work a joke? Because I think a lot of us believe you could just get on stage and that's it. Like you get a special and that's just it. But
nah, it takes
you work it, right?
Yeah, you work the joke and you find out what works. You got to be daring.
Yeah.
Because so back to my original point where I was saying I would just write down the premise and I wouldn't write the joke. I wouldn't flesh out the jokes. I would leave that for the stage. Okay. So I'll come, and I wouldn't even put too much thought into it because I know there's something funny there. If I wrote it down, there's something funny there. And I would work it out on stage. Yeah. Like get on stage and be like, man, yeah, like I never did a joke about shit in public, but that was just an example. But I would get on stage and then just be like, man, yeah, I was just at a restaurant or whatever, and I took a shit in public, and I would talk through it. Yes. And if there was pieces that worked and didn't, then I would just throw out the pieces that didn't work, keep the pieces that did work, and then go on stage the next time and keep that piece, and then something would come off that piece, and just keep adding to it like Legos, and before you know it, you got a whole piece that, and like, dude, that joke about you taking a shit in public is fucking hilarious. And like, yeah, it didn't start off like that. You got to build it, but you got to be willing to take the risk of bombing. Yeah, not bombing, but just like it not doing well as you think it is. And if you have faith in the joke, you'll work it out. You'll figure it out. Now, how do you keep the faith in a joke? Like, is it just in your brain, like the confidence? I mean, I know this shit funny. I just got to find the right way to deliver it. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, it's like knowing there's diamonds inside this hard ass rock, and you just got to know how to chisel to get to it.
Because you don't want to crack that goddamn diamond.
Right.
Yeah, I heard that.
You got to get to that diamond. You know what's in there.
Yeah, I know. See, I'm getting game. Y'all catch me at the comedy club this Thursday. It's Todd fault, goddamn it. If I come in there talking about community cheeks, this man is the reason.
Community cheeks is funny.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, when did you decide you was gonna take? Because you did the open mic. When did you decide? Okay, I'm gonna take this serious, and this is what I'm gonna do.
Oh, damn near like immediately.
Okay, so that feeling.
As soon as I started and I got those first laughs, I was like, me bombing didn't discourage me in the least bit.
Yeah,
it just made me like, I'm gonna figure this out, and I started going down there. And the best part about it is that you'd start meeting other dudes and females who are open micers too, and they would see something in your jokes that they liked, and they would talk to you about it, and then you would see stuff in theirs. And then you go out to get something to eat after the comedy shows, and you'd sit there in the Denny's or IHOP, and you'd talk shop basically.
Yeah.
And you would get confidence. You gain confidence like that because you got your little crew. And so now you're like daily, like you're in communication with these other comedians. And they're like, "Hey man, there's an open mic in Alexandria, Virginia tonight. You want me to put your name on the list?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So then, what time does the show start? 8:00. So then me and 5 or 6 other comedians would converge on this club.
Right.
And it's like our little posse. And we'd roll up and put our name on the list. Some of us would get up, some of us wouldn't. And, just started wrecking shop around the city and just like, yeah, it was fun, man.
I heard. So comedians help other comedians with their jokes.
Yeah.
So you'll be on stage and your buddy in the crowd and he'll say something like, "Hey, you should say it this way."
Yeah. Or they.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some comedians don't like to hear that though because they think the way they're doing it is the right way. But. I was always open. I don't like when comedians say, "You should do it like this."
Okay.
Like they might give a suggestion like, "Hey man, I heard your joke and here's another take. Here's a take that I thought of." And take it or leave it, and they can give you their take, but don't be like, "This is how you should do it." Right. Because you're doing it wrong, nigga.
Yeah.
It ain't work. No. That's what it sounds that's what it can come across as. So a lot of times when I see a comedian, for instance, the other night a comedian named Noah Bergman came and did he's a local comic here, and he did a guest spot on our show. And he has like a mullet, and he was dressed in a funky colored tracksuit. And he said his mom was in the audience, and he was like, "My mom's here, and I got this funky colored tracksuit, and I got my hair cut like this." And my mom said, "Oh no," he said, "I was told that I look like a gay BG." And he was like, "And that was my mom telling me that." So when he came off the stage, instead of saying, "You should do it like this," what I thought of was, I said, when he came off the stage, I was like, you look like a gay BG. And I said, you could be like, you could have just said BG.
Yeah.
And it's not as funny now because I'm trying
Yeah, he tried to do it.
But he was like, basically, anyway.
Yeah.
I just gave him the idea, like to say,
say it this way.
You look like a gay BG. You didn't have to say gay. You could just said BG. And so he was like, "Dude, that's way funnier." It's like
And what does that do when do you feel like you helping out when a comedian go, "Okay, bet, yeah, I'll do it this way."
Yeah. I just like to see a joke work.
I heard that.
And if I can, because he's way younger in the game than I am, so I kind of know how timing works and rhythms and beats and stuff works a little bit more than he does. So just a little helping tip.
Now, talk to us about the comedy grind. What does that look like for a veteran been in the game over 30 years? What does the comedy grind look like?
It can get daunting at times. I have 4 kids.
Right.
And right now my son is on his professional ice hockey grind. And so,
ice hockey?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep. And so, to be honest, my comedy grind is kind of taking a back seat because I'm living in Toronto with him. Yeah. We got a townhouse, so we're living in Toronto so he can play hockey in Canada.
Toronto, it's all right. We know. They paid for all their players. We get it. We know. we know, baby. Go ahead.
And but the grind is like, a lot of my grind is taking a back seat to my kids because I go to all my kids' practices.
I know that's right.
All my kids' games. All of my kids were athletes. 2 of them still are. My oldest daughter played volleyball. My second oldest daughter played basketball. My youngest daughter, 17, she plays at Sierra Canyon High School in Los Angeles. If you know, but that's where LeBron's kids go.
I did know that. I was going to say shout out my daughter Brown. You know what I'm saying?
And number 2 in the country right now is volleyball. Number 1 in the state of California.
Hey,
and my daughter just got a full ride to Ithaca. college.
That's right.
Yep.
Talk your talk, Todd.
Yeah.
Shit, you got good genes, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
But at all the practices until she got to Sierra Canyon, they're closed practices, so you can't go. But I loved
Bougie.
going to all their practices, going to all their games.
Mhm.
And a lot of the times that means that putting comedy on the back burner for a minute. And there'd be plenty of times where I'd be laying on the couch with my kids watching TV, and I'd be like, man, I got to get up in like 30 minutes to get dressed and go down to Hollywood and pay $20 for parking and make $30 and spend money on drinks. And then I'd just be like, I ain't going out tonight. I'd call
Now,
the
but
company,
now
be
when
like,
you
I
was,
ain't going.
when you was in it,
Yeah.
what was it like? Early on when you was trying to make a name for yourself,
Oh,
what
man.
was that comedy grind like? Oh, my dog in the building. Doctor, what's going on,
Oh, shit.
player? What's
Dr.
going on,
Moncure.
player?
What's going on, Doc?
Uh-huh. Ain't that some shit? So you gonna come down here and start a mess already? We were just talking about Brian for a second. You know what I mean? That's my guy right there. That's my OG. You know what I mean?
I love that dude.
You know what I mean? Now, when you were in it, when you were trying to make a name for yourself,
Yeah.
what was that grind like?
The grind was, you know what? When you're in the grind, like you're just doing it for the love of it, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, I wasn't like, man, when am I going to start making some fucking money? Because I was driving 4 or 5 hours to go make $100. I spent more in gas to get there, but I was just excited.
Right.
To like, I feel like saying this, but like, I felt like I was excited about spreading my gospel to people who hadn't seen it yet.
Uh-huh.
It's going down there and like making a name for myself. I loved it. I love the grind. You got to embrace the grind. If you don't embrace the grind, you're not going to make it.
I hear that.
Because it'll chew you up and spit you out. There was plenty of comedians that I started with who just couldn't handle it. And they're just like, man, fuck this. I'm too poor. You know, this isn't working out. And they just threw in the towel. And then they'd come up to the Improv and see me headlining at the Improv. Damn, dude, you making more this weekend than I made the last month? Like, so I stuck with it. Yeah.
Now, what's a question this is great because I've always wanted to ask this question. A gentleman been in the game as long as you, but then you have quote unquote the new comedian, meaning the guys and girls who will come off social media to the stage. What are your thoughts on it? Because you came up the traditional way.
You know, I'm not going to.
Now, don't have them young boys running up on you at the show. Hey, Todd, what did you talking about on the podcast? Todd said he still got them motherfuckers, goddammit.
Yeah, I played hockey my whole life too, damn it.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't have some fake teeth in my mouth for nothing. So, I don't know, man. A lot of them, like, it kind of irritates me a little bit. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. Like, if I was in their same situation and got the opportunity, I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Yes.
Same time, though, it's like, for instance, I got invited to go do a comedy festival in Sweden, right? And a friend of mine, Pablo Francisco, put me down with the dude who was coordinating it. And I'd already been going to Europe a lot at that point. And so Pablo's like, dude, they'd fucking love you over there. This dude, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but this dude will bring you over there and put you up, first class flights, all that, blah, blah, blah. You do this comedy festival for like 10 days and it's amazing. And I'm like, cool. So he put me in contact with the guy. And the guy was like, all right, we're gonna reconvene in about 2 weeks and get all the flight information and all that stuff settled. And I was like, all right, cool. 2 weeks goes by, I don't hear nothing. 3 weeks, I hit him back. And I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? I haven't heard back from you. And he was like, yeah, I was looking at your social media and your numbers ain't where I think they should be. So we're going to go ahead and pass. And I'm like, nigga, like how many people over there were like, even if I had big numbers, like would they be Swedish people watching me?
Right.
Like, do you want a good show? Like the people aren't going to come to the comedy festival because I'm showing up. They're already going to be there.
Right.
And they're going to be like, and they're going to discover me there. And they'll be like, oh shit, this dude's funny. And so he was like, yeah, we need the, bigger social media presence for our comics. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. And I'm not a social media guy. Like, so a friend of mine named David C. Smalley, shout out David C. Smalley. He has like 1.8 million followers on social media platforms. And that's just one platform. And he has hundreds of thousands on other ones. And he was like trying to walk me through how to do it. He was like, man, I'm gonna get your game up. There's no reason for you not to have your game up. Like as funny as you are, you should have your numbers way up and you'll get more bookings. And so he tried to put me down with it. And he's like sitting there with the laptop in his living room. And he was like, all right, now cut this up. And he's trying to show me how to cut it up. And he's like, and now put all these tags on it and everything. And I'm like, God damn, for one clip. And then, so it took me like an hour to do this one clip, and then I posted it. And he was like, no, you got to do that like 4 or 5 times a day. And I'm like,
how you
4
doing
or
that
5
shit?
times. Then he's like, then you just start recording yourself while you're driving around and just put those. I was like, nigga, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Uh-huh.
I know me. I can tell you that I'm going to do it right here, but like tomorrow, I'm not driving around and posting clips and clipping shit up, and I'm not doing it. So I'm not knocking their hustle, but at the same time, you got to be able to like. They think that their fame a lot of them think their fame can carry the weight of getting on stage, which I've heard from a million club owners. Talk to them about. I was like, this motherfucker's headlining, and they're like, yep. And I'm like, how do they do when they're here? Like, you know, first 10 minutes, they're good. They got 10 minutes of funny stuff. But then once the novelty of their famous person they've seen online wears off, you got to deliver the goods, and they just don't have it. And I'm like, but this isn't the first time they're here. They're like, nah, but they keep putting asses in the seats, and that's all the clubs care about is the asses in the seats. If you go in there and fucking fart into the microphone for 45 minutes, they'll bring you back if people are paying to see it.
Right. So now, do you think that's hurting the comedy game?
It can't hurt the yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like to me. Just listen to you talk.
Yeah, I think it's hurting. It's like the comedy is getting watered down, and it's taken away from the actual art of the building jokes and creating, and the grind. I think there's something to be said for the grind, like going through the trenches.
Yep.
And getting your armor up and all that stuff. There's something to be said for that, and just taking the easy way out is like being handed $1 million as opposed to earning your $1 million.
And that's the way I look at it. Just because when I watch the quote unquote influencers go up on stage or start their comedy run, it don't really last long.
No, it doesn't last long.
They'll get up there and then you just don't hear about them getting on stage no more.
Yep.
They go right back to social media.
There's a couple, I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but there's a couple that I was like, this fucking dude has got his name for himself, and he's traveling the country, and I see him posting about, I'm headlining this place and tour dates, and then all of a sudden I haven't seen this one dude that I was talking about. I haven't seen him in 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like I because I love comedy, and let me give y'all some backstory about the boy. You know, I'm a '94 baby. Growing up, my father would have these crates of all the Def Jam comedy. Yep. The VCR joints, different colors, purple, red, orange. It just, you know. And when I would wait till my father would leave, I would go get the tapes. Like he'll go to work. Me and my brother, come on, bro. We go, because Def Jam was raw. You know what I mean?
You remember me on there?
Look. I got it in my notes, Todd. Let me do my job, okay? God damn it, I'm trying to.
Pop your shit, man.
You know what I'm saying? Let me do my job. So, but I would, that was the greatest moments of my life as far as, that's where my love for comedy came, because all the GOATs was on these tapes. And I remember seeing them and go, like I would see them later on in life, like, wait a minute. Thinking back, I saw you, that's probably your first time getting up on stage back in the day. What did Def Jam do for comedy?
Man, it's indescribable, man. I mean, I wish I could bottle that feeling. Yeah. Because, I was deep in the trenches at that point. And, man, Martin Lawrence was hot.
He's my favorite comedian.
Right? And he's from D.C. And so, I mean, being on Def Jam was like, in the black community especially, was like you need to do that. If you haven't done that, you ain't shit, basically. And so shout out Bob Sumner. Bob Sumner, I saw him in, I can't remember what city it was in Maryland, but I was there and just hanging out, and there was a Def Jam audition there, and it was jam-packed. A bunch of comedians, crowd was packed, and I was just showing up there to show up. And Bob Sumner had seen me, and he was like, I'm putting you on Def Jam this year. And I was like, shut the fuck up. And he was like, I'm putting you on Def Jam this year. Next thing I know, I got that fucking call. I was like, what? Yeah. Brought me to New York. I mean, I was living in Chicago at the time. It brought me to New York, filmed. I couldn't fucking believe it. Yeah. Like, I was at the hotel, and I'm like, it's still in my mind. I was like, something's going to happen where they're like, never mind. Yeah, we ain't going to use you tomorrow. We got, I was just waiting. And then I went for the fitting for the clothes. I was like, oh shit, because Fat Farm was I didn't know this. He giving me backstory. I didn't know all of this. Yeah, so Russell Simmons had Fat Farm. So he put me in some Fat Farm hoodies. He gave me some hoodies and stuff, and he was like, which one you want to wear? And I had this black one that was like fuzzy, and it said Fat Farm on it. And I had these black and white, all black with white striped Reeboks and some jeans. And he was like, that's a hot look right there. The shoes go with the top. And I'm like, that's what I'm wearing. And so once I brought that back to my hotel room, I was like, well, at least, I mean, if nothing else, I got a free outfit.
I can appreciate it. So
right now I'm winning. I'm already up. So then, yeah, man. So then I filmed. Man, it's, to this day, man, it still gives me goosebumps to think. I still remember how I was feeling. Like, because I did the Def Jam All-Stars, and Joe Torre was the host of my show.
Yes, sir.
And so I was backstage, and motherfucker started like talking about me, and I was like, "Holy fuck, I'm about to be on HBO now!"
Man.
Like, and he's like, "Give it up for T Rex." I walked out. I was like, I've watched this on television a million fucking times, and now I'm standing here and did my thing. Got a standing ovation. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Now, what was that feeling like?
It was
a standing ovation.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. And I changed my last joke up at the last second on the fly. I changed it up, and I'm so mad that I did it. To this day, I'm still mad about it.
Because you was gonna kill him if you ain't switch it.
Yeah, it's still killed, but but it would have made more sense if I did it the other way.
Right.
And man, it just felt great. And I was on cloud 9. And I remember leaving the theater after it was all said and done, and Russell was getting in a limousine, and he saw me and he goes, and that's why he didn't say nothing. He just pointed at me. It was just like I see you. And I was like, you couldn't tell me shit.
Tell me nothing.
You couldn't tell me nothing. I was like running around DC to, go back down to DC because a bunch of my friends from DC came, comedians and friends came to support, and then went back down to DC, and I was like King Dingaling.
Yeah, man. Like, you see me on the shit, didn't you?
It didn't air yet when I went back, but everybody, all the comedians, like I go to the comedy clubs and everybody knew, like, nigga, you did Def Jam. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
How was it? It was dope. It was my favorite set. Has to be Bernie Mac, dog. You beat me to it. Watching, like I told you, man, my daddy had he had every one of them in crates. Like, it was just like 4 or 5 crates. Me and my brother go take one. And then we start rewatching shit like that. But watching Bernie Mac's, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Man, that's iconic. Mean,
what did that do? Like, is that what put Bernie on the map? Because I mean, you was around the same time as Bernie.
Yep. I put Bernie on the map. And like I said, I was living in Chicago at the time that I did it. And there was a place called Miltroneers that was on the north side. Well, not north side. It was in the Loop. And
that damn Loop. I got caught up in that motherfucker when I first went to Chicago. Whoever made that shit need to be. We'll talk about it later.
He had a club called Miltroneers, and he would do stand up there. He had his own night there. And I went down there and Bernie couldn't have been nicer, man. Nicest fucking dude. And I wasn't no big shot to me. I just went in there and got introduced to him. And he was like, "You a comedian, brother?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Welcome, man. You want to get on?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." And he was like, "All right, I'm gonna put you on. What you drinking?" And I was like,
"What did Bernie drink?"
I don't know. I didn't.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't even know if he was drinking.
Okay, right.
But he got me a drink, and I got on stage and did my thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get a chance to talk to him afterwards. He gave me a little fist bump when I got off stage, or whatever. That was it. Then when he went back up there, he was like, "You went out for T Rex," and then went on to the next comedian or whatever. And I was like, and never had a bad thing to say about it. Never heard anything bad about him.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Never heard nothing bad about Bernie.
Huge loss.
Man, it was so crazy just because, I think the last thing we got from him was Soul Men, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I believe that because, he was old at that time, you know what I mean, getting up there in age. If I'm not mistaken, as far as stand-up, I can't remember if he did anything else, but I could be wrong. But like I said, man, I end that segment just by saying, bro, Def Jam was everything. Me being a kid, born in 94, I'm seeing Chris Tucker, I'm seeing everybody, come through Def Jam. And it was good because that was raw comedy.
Yeah.
Right now, what I want to ask you now is, should you be able to do both? And what I mean is, should you be able to do hood clubs and all white clubs as a comedian? Or should you find your niche?
No, do it all.
Do it all.
That's what I do.
Yeah. I can see that, brother. You definitely cross over for sure.
Yep. I do it all. You can't get pigeonholed, though, because once I did Def Jam and you put that on a resume, people be like, "Oh, you did Def Jam? You're one of those Def Jam comedians. You get out there and talk about your dick and roaches and shit." Hopefully not in the same sentence. I got roaches on my dick.
And so how do you keep yourself from being pigeonholed? Just go on a show? No, I can do.
Yeah, just show. You got to show and prove.
Yeah. But funny should be funny, though, right?
Yep.
Because that's how I feel if I ever go do this shit. I told you, I'm terrified of this shit. I ain't gonna lie. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm afraid of the heckler.
Right.
Because I'm a reformed street individual, okay? Right. I don't want nobody to be in the crowd talking crazy and think I won't come off the stage. Like, okay, motherfucker, you...
Right.
So you talking shit, okay, give me 1 second. When it's 5 minutes over with, I'm gonna give you some laughs. How do you deal with a heckler? Should you just make them a part of your show or just ignore it?
No, I make them a part of my show.
See, I'm fucking with Todd. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I make them a part of the show. Like, and the funny thing is, because I do have a wealth of knowledge,
yes,
and experiences, because I grew up in a white family,
right,
but I'm also ingratiated in the all black community as well.
Absolutely.
And so, man, I could take it to the gutter and destroy you, or I could take it intellectual and destroy you. And I have no problem doing either one. And I don't want to, because people always say, like, if I sit in the crowd, you gonna fuck with me? I'm like, I don't fuck with people. But if you fuck with me first, motherfuckers tried to fight me after shows because I embarrassed them.
See what I mean?
Yeah. And if I start sometimes I just get to the point where I'm just like, fuck the rest of the show. I'm
on your ass.
The next 20 minutes is about this.
That's right. That's see, thank you. See, I work in mysterious ways, y'all, because all my fears, this gentleman has gone through it for over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? He giving me game. That's what I be worried about. It's like, fuck these jokes. Okay, goddammit, you raised your motherfucking hand to speak in class. Right. Now, be a part of the, presentation.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? I'm going to go do it one of these days, y'all. What advice would you give for a first-time comedian going to his first open mic? Just go do it, huh?
You got to go do it, and you got to believe in what you're saying. You go up there and start, half-assing the jokes. I always tell comics that the crowd is like a dog. The crowd is like a dog. Like, you walk into a room and command respect, the dog's going to be like, okay.
Okay, right.
With that. But if you go in there and be like, oh, shit, the dog's like, oh, he's scared? I can fuck with him. The dog come near you, be like, hey, man, go ahead with that.
Yeah, come on. Get your dog, bro.
Get your dog, man.
Get your dog, bro. Don't speak about dogs to these gentlemen. First of all, this guy's a horrible dog owner. Okay. No, yes you are, brother. Look, don't get on camera because the white women will come after you behind this type of shit, bro. You're a horrible dog owner, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, bro. Yes, you are, bro. I came into your family house. The way y'all treat that fucking dog is crazy, bro. Hey, look, the shit is wild, bro. Look, you see, I ain't got a dog. You want a motherfucking dog. Todd, I come through the door, motherfucker says, John, you want a dog? I just got in here. Fuck you mean? Do I want a dog? What type of shit is this?
You want something to eat? You want a drink? You want a dog?
Motherfucker say, you want a dog? I'm like, I just met y'all. You trying to push the dog over me? You know what I mean?
Is this motherfucker trained?
Cool dog too, man. Look, I'm sitting there rubbing the dog, feeling bad for him. I felt like a white woman. I'm sitting there rubbing the dog like, why the fuck they treat him? My bad, bro. You gonna put it on use a rat, bro. Use a rat, bro. You gonna put moms in this, bro. This is going, I'm giving it to you. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. Now, can you talk about a time where you did get or feel burnt out with comedy, where maybe you felt a little discouraged and wanted to maybe give up?
Yeah, that's probably happened 3 times in my career.
Okay.
One time I was in DC. I don't even know what happened, man. I was in Maryland. My career had already, I'd moved back I'd lived in Chicago, New York, and LA, and then came back to Maryland. And my second daughter was about to be born. And for some reason, man, I was just like, I don't know. I just felt like I should have been doing more.
Right.
And no matter how much I tried to do more, it just didn't seem like I was getting any traction. And I got so depressed. And for 4 or 5 days, I didn't leave the apartment. All my comedian friends were like, yo, man, you coming to the show tonight? I'm like, nah. And then finally, a comedian named King Kedar, he goes by King Kedar Rashad. He called me and he was like, he's funny as shit. He was like, Nyoggle, you ain't coming out the house, Nyoggle. Yeah. And I'm like, no, man, I'm not feeling it. And he was like, nah, dude, get the fuck out the house. And he came to my house and my wife opened the door and let him in. And I was laying in the bed, and he was just like, he sat on the bed, and he was like punching me, and he was like, get the fuck up, man. Fuck up. You're too funny to be doing this. Get the fuck up, man. And he was like, I'm gonna be out in the living room. Fucking get yourself together. We're going out. And I was like, nah, man, go ahead, man. I'm good though. And he was like, get the fuck up. And then he was like, I'm not going anywhere until you get up. And I was like, all right, so right. I got up and showered and shaved and all that shit and got myself together and went out and I had a great fucking time. And that's all I needed was just to get. Right. I just needed that recharge. Yeah. And and that was back in 2001, 2000, somewhere in there. And yeah, it's somewhere in there. And to this day, I still talk. I was like, dude, you pulled me out of a depression, man. I was ready to pack it up. Right. And I'm not talking about just quitting comedy. I was thinking about 10 taking the big
Oh, going to see the big guy.
exit. Going to holler at the big man. And then
That's not funny.
once I came out of it, I was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't funny.
That's just to let you know that when you're in the darkness, it feels like there's no light, but there's always light.
That's right. Now, let me ask you this. Who is your favorite comedian of all time? Not the politically correct. Who is Todd's favorite comedian of all time?
I mean, Richard Pryor. Like, Richard Pryor is like, I got to meet him twice. And
what was Richard like, man? You know, he's one of them ones in our community, man. What was Richard Pryor like, man?
He was an asshole.
Oh, damn.
Both times that I met him. Both times. And then I saw this documentary about him called Omit the Logic. And it talked about all the demons that he was battling and the problems that he was having. And then I wrote this whole long dissertation about how I had met him twice. And if I had a chance to meet him the third time, that I would just be like, hey, man, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I forgave him for being like the way he was to me the first 2 times I met him. Second time I was introduced to him by Paul Mooney. He was like, yeah, he was an asshole to you because he didn't know you, but I'll introduce you to him. And then I was like, all right. So he's like, hey, Richard, I want you to introduce you to this young comedian back here, good brother. And Richard was like, and?
Oh!
And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
A second time? But, you know, he was in a little scooter. Both times I met him. The funny thing is, I was working at the House of Blues in 1995, and he came in there for some kind of press conference in the House of Blues, and Chris Tucker showed up there, and I had known Chris Tucker for years at that point, and Chris Tucker was like, he's like, hey, T-Rex, man, take me downstairs in the press conference, because he wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
So I take him downstairs. I was working there, so I take him downstairs, and we go to the press conference, and then afterwards, Chris Tucker walked over to him, and he was like, can I get a picture with you? And Richard was like, yeah. So Chris had this, like, one of the disposable cameras.
Yeah.
And he was like, T-Rex, take a picture of us. So I was like, all right, click, click, and took the picture of him. And then I was like, now take one with me and Richard. And he was like, all right. So I go down to Richard, and I was like, hey, man, I'm a comedian too, and you inspire me. And my dad had the records, and I would listen to him when he wasn't around and stuff like that. And Richard was like, just take the fucking picture, man. He was like, just take the fucking picture. Yeah. And I was like, damn.
I'm talking about my daddy. Goddamn, you know.
I was like, all right. So I took the picture. And then next thing I know, the picture that I took of Chris ended up in an Ebony or Jet magazine. And I was like, I took that fucking picture. Yeah. So I hit Chris up, and I was like, where's my fucking picture? And he was like, I don't even know. Oh! And I was like, come on, dog. And then he tried to sell me an 87 Jetta that wouldn't work.
Shout out to my dog Chris Tucker. That's one of my favorite comedians.
Yeah,
too.
Dude, that's my guy right there, man.
Yeah.
I met him at he was filming some movie over in Burbank, and I met him off Warner Brothers lot at a Taco Bell, and he was like, I got this 87 Jetta, I'll sell you. And he was like, give me $1,500 and it's yours. And I was like, all right. So I meet him at this fucking Taco Bell, and we sit there and have lunch. Then afterwards, we go out to his car and hold on, man. And it finally shut up, all rough and shit. And I was like, nah, nigga, man.
I give you shit.
I'm not paying to take this problem on. I need to be able to get around. He was like, give me $1,000, man. And I was like, no. And then he was like, you don't even have to pay me all at once. Just give it to me when you see me. And I was like, nah, nigga. So then fast forward years, I see Chris Tucker at the Improv on Melrose. And I was like, man, remember that time you tried to sell me that raggedy ass fucking jet? And he was like, that shit is still in my driveway. Yeah.
Hey, man, shout out to Chris Tucker for keeping the hood, man, keeping the Jetta in the driveway. Broke down. Shit don't even run.
It was in Atlanta at the time, too. Okay. So he brought it. Yeah, somehow it got from L.A. to Atlanta. He was like, it's in my driveway in Atlanta now. That car's a classic. And I was like, that thing wouldn't even fucking start.
I wonder if Chris still got it now.
He probably does.
Hey, man, Chris, let me get it. I ain't gonna pay you for it. Goddamn. Let me get that motherfucker just so I can say I got what's yours. Now, let me ask you a question. Yeah. As a comedian, right? There was a period in comedy where it was becoming very censored. Yeah. People were getting canceled. Yep. What was that time like for a comedian? Somebody who'd been in the game, because you saw it when, it became what it became in regards to Def Jam and things like that. But what did censorship and cancel culture do to comedy? Man,
it's I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was seeing. People getting too sensitive. Like, I used to have this whole routine. And it's even kind of hard for me to even bring it up now without people.
All right, don't get us fucked up, Tyler. Right? See, there you go with that bullshit. That's the shit I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
So I started doing this routine about going to the Special Olympics, right?
Okay. Oh, see, bro. See, I told your ass, bro. You know, fuck that. You know, I did Special Olympics back in the day. I was a camp counselor and shit, bro. You know, my athlete did phenomenal, bro. He did. He won. I'm just keeping it. I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's my motherfucking shit. Oh, back up. Hey, Ty, let me get them together, brother.
That's all good.
This is my shit. Don't be doing that. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
So I used to.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm still very politically incorrect, but I am. But I like Bill Burr told me, he was like, you get away with saying a lot of crazy shit on stage because you're so likable that people know that you're not really being serious. You're kind of just like fucking around. You're just saying stuff that you know is not politically correct. And I've always done that. Even with the girls, I'll say crazy shit to girls. My friends are like, how the fuck did you not get slapped in your face? Like, you got her number. Like, I would have got smacked in the face. And I was like, it's because of the way I say things.
So what you say is how you say it.
It's how you say it. So I used to do this joke about Special Olympics, right? And people started giving me grief about the Special Olympics joke. So then I started talking about how I had a cousin that was retarded, and that made it okay.
Yeah.
Because it was my cousin who wanted me to talk about him at a family reunion. Yeah. And I didn't because he was special. And he was like, don't treat me special. Treat me like everybody else. And I'm like, all right, motherfucker.
See, bro.
Right.
What did we get into, bro? That's what shit I'm talking about, bro. That was good.
So I was in Baltimore one night doing for a weekend. And and just one specific night, I did the Special Olympic stuff. And afterwards, I was selling DVDs. And there was a line of people buying my DVDs. And this lady came up to me and she was like, I have a special needs son. And when you got up there and started doing the Special Olympic stuff, I was crying. I thought you meant crying, laughing. Because I've had people say, like, I work with special needs kids, and everything you had said was like fucking hilarious. And it's true. Like, some of the stuff they do that stuff. And so they would be like, so like, no, keep it up. It's funny. So I thought she was talking about loud. I was like, oh, nice. And she was like, no, I'm not fucking congratulating. No, I'm crying. Like, I'm with him all the time. And the one time I get away from him, I hear you like bashing. And my buddy was like, hey, lady, he's selling DVDs. Get the fuck out of line. It doesn't have anything to do with your kid being retarded. And I was like, dude, you're not fucking helping.
At all.
Right, stop, man. Stop.
This is a white woman, though, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I had to make sure.
Right.
Now, but what did one thing when I hear about certain comedians speak about Dave Chappelle, that's what they bring up. Just that he basically took a stance when all that cancel culture shit was going on within comedy. Did he, I ain't gonna say he did it by himself, but did he help save comedy?
100%. Yeah, for sure. And so I was actually talking about that on stage one night in Las Vegas, and I brought that up, the whole Dave Chappelle, the cancel culture thing, and I told the crowd how I had this joke that I had to stop doing because I was getting backlash from it, and I'd been doing it, like dabbling in different Special Olympic stuff for years. And all of a sudden it became like I couldn't talk about it anymore. I'm like, and now all of a sudden I can't talk about it. So then the crowd was like, do it. And I was like, I'm not doing it. And the whole crowd, I was like, how many people want me to do it? And the whole crowd was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, we are in Vegas, fuck it. So I did it, crowd dying laughing. The next day, the owner of the comedy club calls me and he was like, there was some woman in the crowd who was at your show last night. She called the casino to complain about you. And the casino called us here at the club and told us that you can't do those jokes anymore.
Another white woman.
Of course. No. And he's like, so you can't do the retarded jokes no more. And I'm like, God damn it. So I was like, I didn't want to do it. I asked the crowd, they wanted to. And it's like, 300 people say yeah, but one person says no, and you're going to listen to that one person? Yeah.
That's all it takes is one white woman. You know how this shit go. Yeah. One letter, one complaint, and all this shit could be over with. He's like, see what the fuck you got us into?
So Chris Spencer used to have a show on Tuesday nights at the Comedy Store. It was his birthday, and it was jam-packed. And Chris is bringing me on stage, and at this point, I'd stopped doing the retarded jokes. Yeah. Right. So as he's like, give it up for my man T-Rex. He hands me the mic, and as he's handing me the mic, he gives me a hug, and he's like, hey, man, do the retarded shit. And I was like, I don't do it no more. He's like, for my birthday, man, it's for my birthday. So I started doing it. I'm like a minute in, people were like, nah, nigga, stop, boo. Yeah. And I was like, Chris. He was like, don't look at me. And I was like, see? I was like, you ain't shit. See, I was like, this is all Chris's idea.
See what I'm saying? That's why you can't listen to people all the time. That's why sometimes I don't listen to this motherfucker. Yeah. Now, matter of fact, hold on. Marky Mark, how we doing, baby? Good. I want to ask you something, okay? Give me your Mount Rushmore of comedy. Stand-up comedy. Your Mount Rushmore. Take your time now. Because you're going to leave a lot of motherfuckers off because you've been in the game a long time. You've seen the best.
A lot of time. Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle. I might get some hate for this. Louis C.K. Okay. Fucking hilarious. Bill Burr is one of my favorites. I've toured with Bill and been on the. I sit on, like, usually when comedians are on stage, I sit in the green room and do whatever, fuck around on my phone or sleep or whatever. But when Bill Burr is on stage, I take a stool and sit on the side of the stage and I just watch this dude. And he enthralls, like, every fucking show. He murders and he adds shit and takes stuff away. And we were on this tour for like 2 weeks, and then we went back to LA to do a show at this Largo Theater. And it was the night that we did this show, his new Netflix special was dropping. And that's all the stuff that he was working on the road was all the stuff that's in his Netflix special. So we were like, get back and do this show in LA at the Largo Theater. And I'm thinking he's going to do all the shit that's on that special that was released that day. This motherfucker did an entire hour of shit that I had never seen in this. And I was like, he got off stage and I was like, where the fuck did that come from? You had done none of that over the last 2 weeks. And he was like, I always got stuff in my head. And he was like, I'm not even using half of that. Yeah. Like, that was just me throwing it out there and seeing what sticks. I'm like, I'm a fucking terrible comedian. Yeah. Like, this dude is just an amazing writer. He's on the Mount Rushmore. Yeah. So that's your 4. Well, yeah, that's.
Go ahead, keep going. Go ahead. What you got? Go ahead, 5. Give me one more. Fuck it.
Oh man, one more.
That one more is always the worst too.
I'm trying to think. There's so many of different.
You damn
stuff.
right.
Yeah, I can't even like talk about it. Because I'm gonna say the wrong one. I mean, there's too many.
Now, what the hell Louis C.K. do? Did I miss something? Oh, it was. I literally don't know. Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I didn't know. I ain't know why. My bad.
Just put it this way. After it all blew over and he came out with a new special, the special was called Sorry.
I'm gonna have to do me some research. I ain't know. I thought I was up on game with all this shit. Okay, never mind.
He's brilliant, man. Yeah. Louis C.K. is brilliant.
Now, I'm gonna say something. Look, this ain't Todd speaking. This is me. Okay? Let me tell you a comedian that I think is fucking trash as fuck. Yeah. Okay, this ain't Todd. This is me. This is John speaking. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want y'all to try to, keep my dog out of certain comedy spots and whatnot. This is me talking. I think that man Seinfeld is trash as fuck. And I do not know how he became the highest paid comedian at one point in time. I don't see what the fuck is going on. That motherfucker wasn't even the funniest motherfucker on his own show, dog. But I just want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Seinfeld, you know what I mean? Just keep it real. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna whoop my ass anyway, so it don't matter.
He's on your Mount Trashmore?
Boy, top of that motherfucker, Todd. I promise. Like, because I don't, put it to this way. Like, because growing up, I did, being born in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? There was a thing, black comedian, white comedian. At least to my knowledge, what I was watching. Because certain white comedians I couldn't watch because I didn't find the shit funny. Right. But Bill Burr, I've always found that motherfucker funny. That's a bad boy.
He's bad as shit. That's my dude.
Seinfeld, I used to just be like, what the fuck are y'all seeing that I ain't seeing? Like, where's the, you know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. But yeah, he's on the top of my trash-ass comedians list. And I only put him up there because he made it so high up. Now, I ain't knocking his payment. I ain't taking no money out of his pocket by saying what I'm saying. Who gives a fuck? I only got 500 subscribers anyway. Ain't nobody gonna see this shit. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? That shit boo-boo, dog. That shit boo-boo. Let me get my Mount Rushmore, being the 90s, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this.
You got.
Now, it's tough because I know the legends that I'm supposed to put on there.
Right.
So I'll put Richard Pryor just because he is hailed as my favorite comedian say that's the GOAT. So I'll put Richard Pryor. Bam! Okay, that's one. Gotta be Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac for us at 90s Babies when King of Comedy dropped. We knew every fucking joke Bernie Mac was gonna say growing up. We would go to school.
Some of them a bitch.
Man, I'm talking about we would go to school and do Bernie. Like, it was just, he was the rawest comedian I saw at the time. Like, you could tell he didn't give a damn about what jokes. He made the jokes about his nephew being gay, and he just pushed the limit. So we would get in trouble for saying shit that Bernie said. So I'm gonna go Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac. One of my personal favorites is Martin Lawrence. That's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah,
he's the one that made me love comedy. You know what I mean? I would see him hosting, Def Jam and be like, man, this motherfucker he don't miss. You know what I mean? All his stand-ups, I had all the early stuff. Once again, my daddy's a huge comedy fan. So I had Run Tell That. Yeah. I had You So Crazy. I had all that. I was to mimic it all. And then 4 for me is Chris Tucker.
Oh, I can't even believe I didn't even mention Eddie Murphy.
Damn, I forgot Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy, man, he was really instrumental in getting me started because, like, when that when those first 2 albums came out.
Raw and Delirious.
Raw and Delirious.
Yeah, I'm up on my game.
I was on that shit hard.
Yeah.
And me and my brother would just be like, me and my brother would just be repeating it in the house. You know, and my brother's a white dude, 6 years older. White dude, 6 years older than me, and he would be doing like he'd be downstairs, and I just hear him like reciting this shit out loud just to make me laugh upstairs. And I'm like, dude, this dude is fucking hilarious. Like, man, Eddie was funny as shit. I have a funny story about Eddie too.
Go ahead.
I did a.
You always take an Eddie story. Fuck you talking about?
This is years ago. Maybe 15 years ago. Nah, no, maybe 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the Laugh Factory on Sunset, and it was my birthday night. And so I was feeling extra good, and I'm going out clubbing with my friends, right? So my buddies are there, like there's 5 or 6 of them, and they're going to take me out partying for my birthday. And so I'm on stage, and I look upstairs, and there's my buddies are sitting on the side, and then there's, if you've ever seen the Laugh Factory, it's like all the crowd down there, and then there's a balcony upstairs. And my friends are on one side, and then right here, it's Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy sitting next to each other. And I was doing the retarded shit. And when I was doing taking my retarded cousin to a nightclub, these motherfuckers were like head down.
Oh, I know that felt good.
And I was like, I got Martin and Eddie fucking rolling. I was like, nigga, you can't do shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. So fucking
I know that's
that
right.
night, partied my ass off with my friends that night. Great time. Friend of mine named Jay Phillips. Yeah, you ever see in Coming to America when the dude fell down the stairs?
You damn right.
Dude
Motherfucker, you conscious?
He's like,
Yeah.
right? That's Uncle Ray, right?
Right.
So that's Eddie's uncle. His name is Ray. And so my friend Jay Phillips knows Uncle Ray, and Uncle Ray had invited Jay to come to Eddie's house to watch a boxing match. And Jay said, hey, man, he's from Maryland too. Shout out Jay Phillips. He hit me up, and he was like, hey, man, you want to go to Eddie Murphy's house to watch this boxing match? And I was like, hell yeah. So he picks me up, go to Eddie's house. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, they had valet parking down the street.
At Eddie's shit?
And dude, this house had a fucking moat.
Oh,
I was like, what?
God damn.
I was like, motherfuckers live like this? Like, because I'd been to celebrities' house and big ass house. This shit was like a fucking, like a Smithsonian museum. I was like, God damn.
Eddie been getting money a long time now.
Man, a long ass time. And he had
you got damn.
He had a tennis court with a tent over the whole thing, and he had like a giant screen TV, a biggest screen I've ever seen in person, like other than at a Jumbotron at a game or whatever, a giant TV, and he had a boxing ring, and that was the VIP section, was in the boxing ring. So all kinds of celebrities in there watching this boxing match. And it has a pool that looks like a fucking lake, and there's waitresses walking around and giving drinks and shit. And so I'm a little tipsy. I'm more than tipsy. I'm fucked up.
Yeah. He's telling the truth now.
Right.
He was trying to go with the tipsy shit. He's fucked up.
And I'm sitting on this like lawn chair by the pool with some of my friends, and Jay Phillips is one of them. And people are starting to leave. It's getting late. And so Jay's like, you trying to roll out? And I was like, yeah, let's roll. So we get up, I start walking around the pool, and then I see Eddie standing in this little breezeway talking to a couple people. And as we're walking up, those people leave. So now Eddie's just standing there leaning up against the wall with a drink in his hand by himself. And I was like, I'm going to go introduce myself to him.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's up, Eddie? He's like, what's up, man? And I was like, hey, man, I just want to tell you that I know it's cliche, but I enjoy your work, man. And he was like, for over the years. And he was like, hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming by. I was like, no problem. And I was like, as a matter of fact, I'm a comedian, and you actually got to see me at the Laugh Factory one night. And I was hoping he was going to say, oh, when was this? And then I'd be like, I did this joke about taking my retarded cousin to the club, hoping to be like, oh, shit, I remember that. That was fucking hilarious. That was you? But he was like, I said, thanks for coming by, man.
Damn.
Jay Phillips was like, why the fuck would you go up to the #1 comedian on the fucking planet and try to get him hyped up about your shit?
I said, thank you for coming,
I said, thanks for coming by, man.
Oh, man. So like, you struck out with Richard and Eddie.
Yep.
2 goats, boy. Yep. I bet you didn't try that shit no more after that. I think Eddie was
it.
Okay,
that
all right,
was
cool.
it.
All right.
You don't want to meet.
I don't want to meet. Listen, I don't want to meet LeBron. That's my guy. I've been a fan of LeBron since 03. I don't want to meet him.
Really?
Because the day LeBron be like, all right, bro, I'm cool. I'm going to tell him, hey, bro, you know how many fucking fights I done got into because of you, bro? How many debates? How many I done got veins in my neck for, you know what I'm saying, for trying to defend your punk ass, or you going to shoot me or what? I don't want to meet him, bro.
Right.
And on top of that, I don't want to fucking fan out.
Right.
I don't want to turn into a young white woman when I see Brian. I don't want to do that type of shit. I gotta keep it gangster. Y'all can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I know I'm gonna walk up on him. Hey, Brian. You know what I'm saying? One Midwest kid to another. He gonna say, man, get the fuck up out of here. I ain't lived in the Midwest since I was 18. Get the hell out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I mean? Now, what's keeping you going in comedy?
Oh man, just that rush of being on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and money.
Oh no, you gotta have that chicken, man.
Right.
You gotta have that chicken.
Yep. Yeah, I just love it. I love it, man. Like I said, I live in Canada right now with my son. Supporting him on his hockey journey.
Yeah.
Taking him to all his extra trainings and making sure he's eating the proper meals and stuff like that. So, Craig and I went to Seattle like 2.5 months ago. That's the last time I was on stage, like 2.5 months ago. Mm-hmm. And so this weekend, and I'm just I don't know. You saw me. That was my first time on stage in like 2.5 months.
Yeah, he ain't shut up about the shit since we got here this morning. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
So,
John, you got to go and all this shit. It's on a Sunday, man. I got work, bro. God damn it.
Yeah, so I got off stage and I was so fucking hyped up. I was like, man, this is why I do this.
Yeah.
It's like an adrenaline rush. It's like a good drug, man. You get up there and people are laughing and you get off stage and people are high-fiving you. Like, hey, man, thanks, man. That was funny as shit. Mm-hmm. And I get in the green room. I'm like, fuck, man, I missed that.
See, you know, look, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Todd. I think I'm going to do it, but I think I'm getting into it for the wrong reasons, okay? Let me explain what I'm talking about. Look, stay with me, Mark. I'm like, these people get to travel.
Yep, that's a perk.
Okay, that's a perk. Y'all know I'm a 30-year-old man, no kids, no wife.
You're 30?
Yeah. I look young as shit, don't I? I look young as shit, don't I? I know, you know what I'm saying?
That's not the direction I was going in.
Hold down. A man of your age cannot say damn about my age. Because you are twice my age, goddammit.
Not yet.
Shit. Yes, shit. Oh, what you got? What? You get? Oh, okay.
55, nigga, damn.
Motherfucker, you twice my age, goddammit. How you gonna damn me? Gray hairs all over the goddamn place. Ain't that some shit? See, that's how I'm gonna do my hecklers, you know what I'm saying? Little practice. And then see, look, Todd, I hate when you do that because these two young pups always trying to damn you. Oh, motherfuckers right behind me. Goddamn, right. 27. When you turn 27, Mark? Thank you. Hey. Motherfucker, right? No, you ain't gonna damn them, though. You gonna damn me.
You're only 27? Shit. 26? What nationality are you?
I'm Mexican. We're Mexican.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't tell, huh?
No, I
thought the motherfucker was Indian.
Indian.
You thought he was a white guy?
Indian.
I did. Well, I
don't know, man. Indian.
I'm supposed to be wearing glasses.
Yeah.
So.
No, look. You assuming Mark is a white guy? You hit that on the head, brother. Boy, you hit that. You just don't even know. You don't even know, boy. You hit that on the head by him being a white guy, boy. Whitest Mexican I know. You know what I'm saying? Now, when
Coconut?
Coconut?
When the next date? I know y'all in KC right now. Just drop on you know, when the next date?
I'm not sure. You know, I normally just go out with Craig now.
Yeah.
I don't even reach out to clubs right now because I'm in Toronto and, you know, it just so happened that my wife was available. You know, she's living in Los Angeles with my daughters.
Yeah.
And so I'm living in Toronto with my son and he's in Detroit right now playing in a tournament. So she was able to go get him and bring him to Detroit.
Yeah.
So I was able to come here. So I'm going to start doing that a little more often though. You know, because Craig has asked me to do some shows with him that I've held. I'm in Toronto with my son. He's got a tournament in Rochester, New York this weekend that I got to take him to. So I've had to not do gigs, but one of his teammates' dad said, anytime you need to do some gigs, man, just let me know and I'll take him. Mm-hmm. You know, he can stay with us while you're out of town. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know. I just had to go down memory lane when you said that. Growing up, okay, I was the only black kid on my basketball team. First basketball team I played for, Chesterfield Tar Heels, absolutely. And the families used to always say that to my mom and dad, hey, he could just stay with us. But now that I'm grown, it's like, oh, you motherfuckers just wanted to make sure I was on the team. Right. They love me, though. They're my peoples. You know what I mean? I still see them to this day. You just wanted to make sure I was there, goddammit. John's coming, so we have a chance.
Man, listen. And then at this time, this middle school, you know, as a black man, you athletic in middle school, their athleticism hit different. The white boys ain't caught up just yet.
Right.
High school is when you start to see the white dudes like, damn, motherfucker, you can dunk too. You know what I mean? And it always throw me off. You know what I mean? So, man, shout out to all the white dudes, man. Austin Reeves and all y'all in L.A. doing it good, holding it down till LeBron come back, man. Keep hope alive, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep hope alive, man.
AR-15.
AR-15. That motherfucker bad, boy. Yep. And listen, once again, y'all know Todd up in, Canada. Blue Jays, it's cool, man. It's all right. We know the Dodgers paid for all they, players. I don't even know how the fuck they can afford all the players they got.
Well, them Japanese dudes can throw that fucking ball, man.
What the hell? What the hell is going on?
I don't know, man.
In a minute, we ain't even had nothing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? We ain't finna have no white dudes or black dudes in baseball in a minute.
Man,
Because, you know,
they built Otani in a lab somewhere. This dude is incredible.
Incredible. And you know the Chinese dudes talking shit back home. Americans can't fuck with us. Look. All right, man, let me get the fuck up out of here because I see what's going on here. You know, the vibe Todd's giving off is starting to get to me. You know, I usually be politically correct on this motherfucker, and now it's starting to fade a little bit. Let me get us up out of here. Mark, did I hit my goddamn hour? You know I'm insensitive about my hour episodes, brother. 109, man. Now listen,
man.
Todd, I want to thank you for coming through, brother. Last minute, baby. And I want to tell you, brother, you inspired me. I'm gonna go do that.
Do it, man.
Open mic, bro.
You'll be. I mean, I told my son this when he first moved to Canada. And like he was excited until the day he had to leave. We were leaving.
Yeah.
We went out to dinner before we left him there, and he started crying, and my wife started crying. Then I started my lips started jumping around like
The shaky shit.
yeah. And so, but I told my son, I was like, this is what's best for you, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's better to feel the pain, feel this pain in the pursuit of your dreams than it is to feel the pain of regret.
I know that's right.
So you need to do this now. You'll be happy that you did this because if you go back to LA and keep spinning your wheels there, you're gonna see dudes that you know making it. And you're like, fuck, I should have just taken that chance, man. So feel that pain now as opposed to that pain of regret. I feel regret. I've told my son that.
Yeah.
I've fucked around. I spent many years fucking around on the road and doing it for the wrong reasons, and it's like not handling my business like I'm supposed to be. Show business. I was doing the show part. I wasn't handling the business part.
Right.
And and so my son has been like, so how come we're over at Kevin Hart's house and like how come you don't got it like Kevin? I'm like, because that nigga was handling his business.
That motherfucker, hey man. And I'll tell you what, I should have put that motherfucker in my Mount Rushmore, bro, because for me, when you see, look, I almost went over for another hour. Man, let's get the hell up out of here, man. My motherfucking comedic juices is starting to flow and whatnot. Listen, let's get the hell up out of here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, man. It's the I-70 Podcast.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Max, he's at Max Rexx 333. Max Rexx 333 on social media. He's 15 years old. He was, there's a website called Elite Prospects. It's a hockey. They have all the pros all the way through college and amateur, ranking all the players, whatever. And they named my son, ranked him number 5 of 2010 born North American hockey players.
That's right. Can I get a motherfucking hand clap, Mark? I told you to get on your shit, man. You know what I mean? You be slow on these goddamn hand claps, man. That's what I'm talking about, man, because we need more of us out there anyway. But let me ask you this then, since we talking hockey real quick. What do you do when your son get in a fight out there? You know what I mean? Do you want to get out there?
He doesn't get in fights right now.
Okay, cool.
He's 15, and they still wear the helmets with the cages and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
But they, they scuffle, but they don't full on like helmets off, gloves off, punching each other.
That shit wild.
Yeah.
That shit, I to this day, the way they just be, come on, motherfucker, you know what I mean? They throw the gloves on, they set up and shit. Yeah. I want to get in on that. I can't skate to save my life though, so I just tell them, motherfucker, we take these motherfucking skates off. You know what I mean? Right. Put our toes on the ice. Fuck all these skate shit. You know? Now, let's get the hell up out of here, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, man. This is the I-70 Podcast, and we out.